All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are today at TRS with the new Profile High Lens 2.0 LED high beam projectors. And as you can see, I have two projectors here. This is actually not a pair of projectors. With the 2.0 version comes a brand new RGBW version of the projector that runs the DRL. And of course, you've got the classic white version as well. Now, there's a lot of upgrades on these things compared to the original projectors. I'm gonna walk you through that. We'll show you what the light output looks like. We'll show you what these things look like lit up because it is hot. Okay, so from afar, these things may not look that much different than the original version. They've still got the awesome looking Q45-esque multi-lens here on the front, but this lens has actually been made bigger in diameter. It's a little bit bigger now, and you see that the bezel that holds the lens onto the projector is smaller. And that way, when the projector is underneath the shroud, you get nothing but lens underneath that. Also, bigger lens, more light output. In fact, that was one of the things that delayed the launch of this projector that was originally supposed to come out in the spring of 2020. The projector was so powerful now that the LEDs behind it that ran the demon eye were originally focused directly behind the lens, just like the main LEDs. And we found that even with about 10% of the light output to run that DRL mode, no matter on the RGBW or the normal white DRL version, it was still too bright. It still projected a powerful high beam, and so the LEDs had to be offset inside on the PCB so that that DRL mode would actually be sufficiently less intense compared to the full-on high beam. Now, the other thing that's very, very important compared to the original high lens is the body. Now, of course, you still got the threaded shaft, which is nice and long, makes that very easy to install in any headlight with the included hardware here, just clamps right on. These are nice and small in diameter, just like a mini H1, if you will, so they'll fit very easily inside of H7, 9006, H11, 9005, etc. high beam reflectors. But most importantly is that this body is all metal now. The original one was plastic, so not only does that give it more ability to cool the LEDs inside so we can run them a little bit brighter, but the original ones were notorious for actually shearing off here at the threaded mounting shaft, which, as you can imagine, is kind of a problem because projector inside your headlight breaks off. Not a good thing. These things rock solid, so that is by far one of the biggest upgrades to the new 2.0 version. So these projectors come with a variety of hardware here. You can see that you have three different options for adapter plates. You've got an H7, an H4, and a 9005 adapter plate to make alignment easy inside of your headlight. Now, unlike a normal projector, the alignment doesn't matter so much, but they do help with the ease of installation. So go ahead and slide this 9005 adapter plate on here. Got to put it all over the wires, put this all the way down. Align the little nub there with the channel in the threaded shaft. And then you put obviously you put this through the front of your headlight reflector, goes in there, and then you can use the included hardware, the lock ring here, put that on the back. Of course, this just goes on here. And with your headlight reflector sandwiched in between that, tighten this thing down, and this thing is locked onto your headlight. Of course, you cover it up with a shroud after that, and it looks just like it was meant to be. So very easy to install these projectors. All right, so physically we know that the 2.0 is an upgrade over the original version, but how is the light output? Now, as I said, with a metal body, it becomes more ability to shed that heat so we can run the LEDs a little bit hotter. Therefore, these things do produce a lot more intensity compared to the original version, and the actual beam pattern is a little bit more concentrated for a perfect high beam spotlight. So what we'll do here is we'll show you what the light output looks like on the TRS test wall, and we'll compare it to something like the high beam on a Morimoto MLED 2.0, which is a really great and powerful high beam. And we'll let you see what the difference looks like. Now, you'll find that the high lens is a little bit more concentrated, but it is brighter. And so these things are a perfect complement to somebody who's already running a set of bi-xenon or bi-LED projectors in the main low beam spot, because they will be highly complementary to the pre-existing beam pattern to give you extra punch down the road. All right, so you know that these things are physically better. You can see that the light output is awesome, and obviously you've got two different versions now. For those of you who want the RGB DRL, it's pretty badass. It matches all of the other profile LED accessories perfectly. If you want to keep it a little bit more subtle, you go with the white DRL version. They come with a little bit more of a price tag compared to the originals. They are more expensive, but as the saying goes, you pay for what you get. So if you're building a high performance retrofit, you want nothing but the best components, and you're interested in getting a set of dedicated LED high beam projectors to accent or complement your existing low beams or bi-xenons, definitely the way to go. The new profile High Lens 2.0 is a solid option, very reliable, very bright, and really hard to beat. Plus, it looks cool. All right, guys, see you later.